We're here in Southern California and I'm with gun expert Dennis Santiago, and we're doing a quick 101 what journalists need to know about firearms. The ammo. Cartridge versus bullets versus caliber. Go.
Okay, they're completely different things from each other. A cartridge, all right, these are all cartridges, right, in one form or another. Technically these are shells, right, because these are shotgun shells, but all of these are cartridges. These are cartridges for the AR-15, these are cartridges for an AK-47, these are cartridges for a 9mm, these are cartridges for a .38 Special, these are cartridges for a .22 long rifle, these are cartridges for a .45, okay? And so they're all cartridges. Caliber is the size of the cartridge. So this is a .22 caliber cartridge. It's about a little under 1/4 of an inch, right? Which is why 22, because 1/4 is also 25/100ths of something. This being a 22 is a little bit underneath 25. All right. So if you were to measure it, it'd be about 1/4 of an inch. It's actually the exact diameter is 0.224 inches. Okay. So that's a 22. This is a 45. Okay. It's 0.45 or a little bit under half an inch. And as you can see, they're very, very different from each other. So when somebody talks about caliber, they're actually talking about the diameter of the ammunition. And you can see here, this one, 357 or a .38 Special, the diameter of the bullet is 0.357 inches or 0.358 depending on what it is. And so you can see that it's smaller than a 45, 0.3, 0.4, right? There are some that are about the same size as each other. So the 9mm is 0.356, the .38 Special is 0.357, 0.358, and they're almost the same. These two are the kinds of rounds that are used most commonly in handguns, and they are pretty much the same diameter because they have pretty much the same kind of effect when they are fired into the target.
And shells and shot shells, completely different things.
Completely different things, and so, by the way, is rifle ammunition, right? So we'll do shot shells first. Shot shells are, again, a form of ammunition. They are, as you can see, they're blunt-ended, and that's because the pellets are inside this shell. So you've got, where this one has a single bullet, this one has a powder charge in the bottom, okay? There's a cup or a wad that sits in here. There's a little cushion in this middle portion of the shell, and then the charge of pellets sits on top. So when the thing goes off, the entire cup that's inside here comes out of the shotgun barrel and then opens up, and then the shot charge carries on. The pellets are much, much smaller, individually smaller than any of the bullets, which are the tips of these things, in any of these cartridges. And as you can see, even smaller than, you could fit several of those pellets into the tip of a 22. Rifle ammunition differs from the pistol ammunition in that, well, for one thing, they're slightly bigger, and because they're slightly bigger, the case, I'll show you an empty, this is a case, right? And all of these things have cases. In the case of a shotgun, it's called a hull as opposed to a case. But the case itself has capacity for powder inside it. The larger the case, the more powder you can put inside. The more powder you can put inside, the faster the bullet goes, which means it has more energy. If you look at this, the .223, diameter-wise, it's not that much different from a .22, right? So .22 long rifle, .223, right? So you remember back to a couple weeks ago when they said they found, a bunch of these in San Bernardino and a bunch of these in San Bernardino. This is the difference of what they found. All right, so they found these things, which were for the AR-15 that the guy used, and they found a whole bunch of these. As you can tell, very, very different. The amount of powder that's in here is minuscule. The amount of powder that's in here is a lot. This is a round that has a very light punch. These particular rounds, as a matter of fact, are target shooting rounds. They're meant for shooting paper primarily. These are also target shooting rounds, also meant for shooting paper, oddly enough, that are loaded with bullets that travel much faster.
Over here we have a bunch of magazines, but different, right?
Yes. And on the other side we have clips. All right. Probably one of the biggest pieces of folklore that circulates not just in the journalism world, but also within the shooting world. What's a clip? What's a magazine? All right. So it's fairly straightforward. Clips are devices that ammunition can go into. They are then used to insert ammunition into a rifle, something like that. It goes into a slot. You push the ammunition down. Magazine is in these cases are all box magazines that are used to contain the ammunition.
That's a wrap. 101, what journalists need to know about the basics of guns. I'm Hollie McKay in Los Angeles.